Hey guys, this is Adam, and I'm with Scjoiner. We're doing a dual commentary, so say hello.
Hey guys, how's it going?
um, we're gonna talk about MC Edit, and I think we're gonna get into what was it? Wolves. So yeah, let's get started. I think.
Right on.
I think. Well, I'll get started. I guess I don't know. Do you want to go first, or should I?
Well, I guess MC Edit, for people that aren't familiar with it, is a program that kind of lets you edit and make changes to your world when you're not playing the game necessarily. So you can kind of close out and go in and edit things. You can build things or copy things or replace block types and things of that nature. And a lot of people kind of bring this up when you talk about the inv-edit paradox, or I guess like the debate of whether or not it should be used. So some
Yeah.
people really see this as cheating.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
So
sort of like World Edit. Well, it is World Edit. World Edit's just
yeah,
been just replaced it, I think. It's well,
yeah,
World Edit has a bit more functions, and and it's in game, so I think that's the reason people are
yeah.
using
And
that. But
the nice thing is that MC Edit, since you're not using the game, it's not really bound by some of the game's rules and physics.
yeah,
So you're able to do a lot more. But I don't know. I can say I don't really use it. I do
yeah,
use World Edit in my game for making, like, say I need to make like a super long tunnel, or I need to make like spawning pads for mob system or something. Then yeah, I'll be like, all right, let's just clear this out so I don't have to go through and mine it, because
it's
I'm really adamant about not mining.
yeah, it's kind of tedious, and especially when you're mining something really big, you go through so many pickaxes, and you just got all this cobble, and you don't know what to do with it. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, right on.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't use it either much because, well, Let's Play. Doing my Let's Play right now, and there's really no use for it in the Let's Play. But
hmm
I used World Edit a little bit, uh, just to clear out spaces and stuff. I used it to make my mob spawning mod pad in my test world, I think. And then that's pretty much all I really do. Just clear rooms with it. But
Yeah.
I used the MC Edit a little bit, and actually really liked it. It's kind of helpful, not only just like cleaning up your world a little bit, because you always got like useless structures and stuff in it,
Yeah.
like one block towers, which are really annoying, and you don't want to go like deleting them, or like stuff
I
that doesn't work.
I just remembered one thing I do use it for is I do lots of experimenting, on my Flatland thing that I've released, and I get kind of ticked when I spend a lot of time on that, and then I'm like, great, I have to go on my server and rebuild the same thing, because if I make something cool like the clocks, I want everybody to be able to use it. So what I do is I can either send the server admin infrared just my world file, or we can go in and make like a schematic using World Edit to just paste it in. So it's really nice for that.
Yeah, but the only issue with that is sometimes you get chunk errors using it, and it's really easy if you leave your Minecraft game open. I guess online it wouldn't make much of a difference if you're using it on a server, but if you leave your Minecraft open in SS or single player, it can corrupt your game save, which is super
Ooh,
annoying.
that's not worth it.
Yeah, well, it's easy to avoid though too, if you just close off your
Yeah.
game, but it's also sort of easy to forget. So
Oh yeah, I think I'm at the point now in my single player where I don't really care if anything happens to it, because every single video that I make with it ends up getting copied online. So I have this like permanent resource to where if I ever lose it, I have it. But I guess not everybody has that luxury. There
yeah,
are lots of really nice backup tools though on the forums, automatic backups or manual backups. So there's no need for you to ever lose your save file. I'll say that.
yeah, that's true. But some people just don't bother, or they haven't
hmm
remembered to, or they just don't. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
super
really
easy.
bad. I see people that are like, "Oh no, the power went out and I lost my save," and it's like, well, first of all, your save is probably recoverable to some extent, but even if it isn't, you should have been doing backups.
Yeah, you can. I think in most operating systems on Windows, I think the newer ones. I don't know about any other ones, but um, in Windows Vista and newer, you can go in and you can like see the recent changes in properties file, and you can actually go back in time pretty much. You can go change
Oh,
it to
that's
like you can
that's
revert
great.
it before it was changed. So I don't know. That seems like a good idea if you ever lose your
Oh
save
yeah.
file.
So what do you think? Is MC Edit cheating?
I think it is, but it's also like something. Well,
But
inventory edit is cheating, but it
yeah, I
doesn't
was going to
ruin the
ask,
game.
do you think it's okay, so what is worse? Inventory editing in items that you couldn't get otherwise, or building something that you could have built, I
Uh,
guess.
well, to be honest, I don't really mind people who use inventory edit as long as they say they've used it and whatever. But if
Right.
uh, I don't think they're about equal really. But
Hmm.
if you're using it for a legitimate world, and then it's really, I don't think it should be used. But if you're using it on like a test world, like I did, or
Yeah,
anything else
yeah.
like that, that you don't really want to go mine, you want to just go test stuff and whatever, then I think you should probably use inventory edit. I don't have anything against that at all.
Yeah, see, I don't think anybody can really object in that situation because it is just, just like you said, for testing. Now, when you get into, I guess, using both of these things, oh, there goes my dryer. My concern is that, so I've expressed on multiple occasions that I really don't like the tedium of mining, and I think that after the first couple months, you're really over it, and you just need to, start building. So for me, all the things that I build, I always build by hand when it's like the redstone stuff. I do all those by hand.
What's
So
that
like
do, really?
exactly. So my thinking is for those, yeah, you don't really have much of a choice. But when you're talking about some giant nice house or something, for me it's a lot more impressive if you go through and build it block by hand. And because sure there is some design required to build it in MC Edit, but ultimately all the effort is gone. So
Yeah, and then it's less like you don't feel as satisfied when you're done.
yeah, and it's funny because these are the arguments that people make for not using InvEdit, but for me it's a completely different story because the mining is the same thing over and over and over. It's pointless. The building is actually creativity, incarnate. It is what embodies the entire experience of the game. So for me to cheat yourself out of that pleasure, I guess, and that creative experience is really a shame. So
Well, if the only thing I really used for, well, other than clearing out rooms and stuff like that, which is mining, so I don't know. That's not really. That's a bit of
yeah,
both. To be
it's kind
honest.
of it is certainly a gray area, and I will say that is where my crossover point is as well, is clearing areas or creating very large surfaces. But when it comes to detail work or anything like that, I won't go anywhere near MC Edit.
Yeah, I used, well, it and world edit are pretty close. I think I used world edit, the stack command. If you don't know what it is, it just basically
Yeah.
takes your selection and it multiplies it in the same direction you were facing, like however many times you want.
Right,
I
right. I
use
like that.
Yeah, I use that a little bit for like stuff that's way too big to that you can repeat. I don't know how to explain it. I think that
No,
makes
I know
sense.
what you mean.
Yeah, and you don't want to just like go out and build for 12 hours straight and then say, "Oh, look, now I need to do this twice." And then
Yeah.
you just get bored of it, I think. So that's the one thing that I really, really like about World Edit. It's probably my favorite command.
Yeah, one thing I will say is sometimes I do use World Edit for copying, and I'm not really ashamed of that because like what I'll do is I'll build one redstone display and then make sure it's perfect and test it, and then I'll just repeat it because there's not a whole lot of point of or in building the same thing 5 or 6 times for the same build. But when I go to build another one, I will build that next one from scratch, like the first display, and then copy it. So
Yeah,
I don't
I,
think that that's too bad.
I don't think that well, it depends on where you draw the line, really. It's personal,
Hmm.
I think. It doesn't really, shouldn't be affected by other people, to be honest. But if you want to play with like, all mining, doing everything by hand, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But also don't think there's anything wrong with you just going out there and using inventory edit to build, like, the Empire State Building in Minecraft.
Yeah, 'cause at a certain point, a build kind of does speak for itself and is still impressive, regardless of what tools you used, cheating or otherwise. And at a certain point, though, your build isn't impressive for the same reasons. If
Yeah.
you're like, look at this, I made the biggest cube ever just using MC Edit, it's like, well, that's not really that impressive. But you see the people that are like, oh, well, I made the scale model of the Enterprise, or I made the entire Pokemon world. That's like, okay, so you cheated some, but the end result is really sweet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just whatever you feel. I think it's not really, or not you personally, but like
Right.
people
Whatever
listening.
Steven feels is the rule.
Uh, but no, whenever people think in their head, or in their head. That's obvious, I think. But um, whatever people think, I think that's probably the way they should
Yeah,
go. It shouldn't
and
be affected
really,
by people on YouTube just talking
yeah,
over
and
video
or on the
games.
forums. On the forums, this has been discussed for probably well over a year now. And
Yeah,
really, the best thing to do is just not read it. Don't buy into it. Don't let somebody else make you feel bad for the way you play. You know, like no matter how you play, I'm not going to criticize you. If you're like, oh, well, I use InVedit and MC Edit, and all I make is big squares. I'm not going to criticize you because you use those tools. I'm going to criticize you because what you're doing isn't interesting or unique or creative. You know?
yeah. It's sort of like, I don't know if you've played the Call of Duty series but if you have, it's like camping. People, it's like just sitting in the corner all game and just waiting for people to walk by so you can sneak up on them and
Exactly.
own them. But if it's like discussed almost as much as that, which is really, really, really annoying when people do that to you. But
Hmm.
then again, it's sort of like, oh, he killed me. That's sort of the point of the game.
Exactly. Exactly. The question is, are you building? Yes. And in Call of Duty, are you killing? Well, yes, you are.
So as long as you're doing well, Minecraft, there's more than one thing you can do though. I think that's probably the
Hmm.
main difference. But I don't know. I just feel that's not that bad, but I just go without it because it's my choice. Really, it's not
Yep.
anyone else's.
That's really what it boils down to. Is you definitely have the right to choose. So
Yeah.
exercise it.
Okay, and now we should probably get into wolves because we got like 4.5 minutes or 3.5 minutes. So we'll
Okay.
probably
Sure.
go a
Sure.
bit into them, and then we'll probably have to be cut off. So.